Well, welcome back to your morning. You know, we're here in Edmonton, Alberta, and Edmonton is often referred to as the oil capital of Canada. The latest numbers show the oil and gas sector employs nearly 140,000 people in this province. That's bigger than the cities of like Red Deer and Lethbridge, and it pumps more than $70 billion into the economy every year. Almost all of the oil that we export heads south to the United States. But the new tariff on oil has producers really concerned. So joining me this morning with more is the Executive Director of Alberta's Industrial Heartland Association, Mark Plamondon. Welcome to your morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
So how have tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump affected investment into Alberta's energy sector here?
Well, anything that creates uncertainty will be a headwind to new capital investment. So Alberta's Industrial Heartland Association, we travel the world promoting Alberta and the industrial heartland for capital investment into the region to upgrade Alberta's low-cost energy resources into value-add products. And anything that creates uncertainty, what it does is it just means companies and boards of directors will either slow down their investment or just put a stop on things to see what the world's going to look like before they decide to sanction a project.
You know, we hear high level, that's a concern, but you're on the phone and talking to these people. Yeah. What are you hearing directly?
Well, we're hearing exactly that. It's like until you understand what the rules are going to be, or until the uncertainty is minimized or at least dramatically reduced, companies are less likely to advance or sanction a capital project.
You know, if these tariffs persist, what are the consequences going to be on the ground level? What will that look like here in Edmonton and the region?
Well, you know, it's twofold. I mean, certainly as capital projects or investment in new projects starts to slow down, that will have an economic impact. But, you know, what's interesting, though, is there is a bit of an opportunity when you do have trade impacts moving south. The opportunity then becomes, what do other markets look like globally, and can we move our value-add energy products off the West Coast to other markets? And so maybe there's an opportunity here to advance projects to move products to other markets.
Yeah, we do look at expansion. And, you know, I asked you about Edmonton and the regions beyond, but really in this province, as people tell us over and over, oil touches everything. Whether or not you work in the industry, oil and gas money is everywhere in this province.
Well, absolutely. There's the direct impacts and then all of the indirect impacts. And out in the industrial heartland, which is taking the energy resources and adding value to those, you know, you'll see, you know, about a 3, 4, and sometimes 5 to 1 ratio between indirect jobs and direct jobs. Wow. So it is a dramatic impact, not only just directly, but also in all the indirect activities.
Well, trying to level out some of that uncertainty, we've heard from our two political leaders who are in the midst of the campaign right now, as you know. They have both pledged variations on this national energy corridor. They want to fast-track approvals for things and get it built faster. You know, you're getting a lot of love here in Alberta in this campaign. But do you believe that all this attention is actually going to turn into action?
Oh, I think there'll be action. I think it's recognized that we really need to do a few things really to create certainty, perhaps to get our products to other markets. And some of the certainty that is being discussed is, you know, national trade corridors or economic corridors, you know, anything that will reduce risk for project developments, whether that's economically or monetarily supporting the reduction in the capital cost, or streamlining the regulatory framework to help advance projects with more certainty. Anything like that, it will lead to or help lead to additional investment in the province.
My last question to you, you know, somebody in Ontario said to me, but isn't it all of Canada's oil? So what is it that you want the rest of Canada to understand about this energy resource in this province?
Well, certainly. I mean, it's an economic engine for the region, the province, and the country. And so I think that adds value to all Canadians.
Okay, great. Mark, thank you for coming out this morning. I appreciate your perspective on what is a very big topic here in the province of Alberta.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.